Hey Monaga fourth graders, Mr. Schroeder here. I'm going to be talking about multiplying large numbers today. We're going to be using a lot of the skills that we've already previously talked about in order to do this as well. I'm going to give you a rundown of some of those skills before I go into the steps on how to multiply these large numbers. The skill that you do need to know is what we talked about last week, extended fast facts. I'll write that down. If you do not remember how to solve for extended fast facts, or maybe you didn't get time to watch my video from last week, I really encourage you to go back, watch that video again, and then come back and watch this video. If you want a quick recap on that and feel like I've watched the video, but I would just like a little reminder, extended fast facts are when you take your fast facts, like 4 times 6, which equals 24, and you can extend that knowledge by saying 40 times 6 is 4 times 6, 24. If there's 1 0 in the problem, there's 1 0 in the answer. Same thing applies if it was 400 times 6. Still equals fast facts 24. There's 2 zeros in the problem, so there's 2 zeros in the answer. And it does not matter. This works for every single fast fact you know. 2 zeros in the problem, still 2 zeros in the answer. This would work for like 80 times 70 or 50 times 40, as long as it's your fast facts followed by an amount of zeros. So go back and watch that video if you need to, and then come join this video, okay? At this time, I'm going to do my first multiplication problem for you guys, and I'm going to list the steps. So here we go. If we have a 2-digit number like 26, and we're going to multiply it by 5. My first step is to, I call this just line down. Line down. I take my pencil and draw a line straight down. Pretty simple step, nothing to it. But it shows you that you maybe need to line it up vertically, and then now you're going to have to be writing some things on this side and writing some things on this side. So try to make a straight line down. Step 2. Okay, this is called break apart. And I even put the words place value. You break it apart by place value. What that looks like is this. I take 5 on the bottom, and I'm going to multiply it by every place value on the top. For example, the first problem is 5, start on this, and multiply by the 1's place value on the top. 5 times 6. My next problem is going to be 5. I multiply this number by all the place values on the top. So in this case, there's only 2 place values, the 1's place and the 10's place. And I go 5 times, some of you are going to think that that's a 2, but since it's in the 10's place value, I say 20. So now it's 5 times 6 and 5 times 20. If that makes sense to you, good. But if it doesn't, I'll try to explain it a little bit better. I'm taking 5 groups of all of the 1's place values, and I'm taking 5 groups of 20. And if I can put those together, I'm going to have the whole product in the end. So I've broken it apart. I found all the problems I have to do. And in fact, I'll even make this problem a little bit harder right away. If it was 326 times 5, I would do 5 times 6, 5 times 20, and then 5 times, not 3, but it's in the hundreds place value, so 3 groups of 100 make 300. I know I changed the problem kind of halfway through doing it, but it's just to show you that no matter how many place values you have on the top, it could be 2,300, and then you go 5 times 2,000. You could change it any way you want to, but the process stays the same. Now, the third step is what we talked about last week, extended fast facts. These are things you should know by now. Your fast facts, 5 times 6 is 30. Okay. Notice how I'm writing my products off to the side a bit, because soon enough I'm going to have to add them together. So I don't want to write 30 too close to this line, because then it will get a little bit messy. 5 times 2, add a 0. So 5 times 2 is 10, and add a 0. So 10, add a 0. I'm lined up the 1's place value, and now I lined up the 10's, and the hundreds will be lined up, because I know I'm going to add these together at the end. 5 times 3 is 15. Add 2 zeros. 2 zeros. All right, 15 backwards. Once again, I've lined up all my place values, and I've answered all of the extended fast facts that were given to me. Next, last step, step 4, four-step process, is add your products. Okay? And in this case, now that I've answered all these are my products. I just add them together. 0, 3, 6, 1. 1,630 is the answer to 326 times 5. We call this partial products. It's the name of the system to multiply. The reason we call it partial products is because we're taking it and we're cutting it in parts by place value, and we add all the products when we're done. This is the ones product, this is the tens product, this is the hundreds product. Once we add all those parts together, we get the complete product of the original problem. Okay? And that would work for multiplying a single digits times double digits, multiplying single digits times triple digit numbers. It would work for 4-digit numbers, 5-digit numbers. You can keep that same system going. You might have more extended fast facts, but you can still add all of them together in the end, because I don't really want to add this number together 5 times. I'm going to guarantee I make a mistake. Here, you still might make some mistakes on your extended fast facts, or maybe you forget to line things up when you're adding, but if you take your time, this is a system that will work each and every time, multiplying 1-digit numbers times multiple digit numbers. Okay? I'm going to do one more of those, just to review one more time, then I'm going to give you guys some problems too. How about, let's do one in the thousands. 2,673. And if I wanted to multiply that by, let's do 4. First step, draw the line down, straight down. Next step, we have to break it apart by place value. I start with the ones on the bottom, multiply it by all the place values on the top. 4 times 3, 4 times 70, not 7, because that 7's in the 10. 4 times 600, because that's a 6 in the hundreds place value. And now, since this is 4 digits, 4 times 2,000. Once I've passed that part, the extended fast facts, I should know how to solve these. Do the fast fact, add the zeros. 4 times 3 is 12. I might run out of a little bit of room, so I'll write nice and neat as I possibly can. 4 times 7, double 14 is 28, add a 0. Next, 4 times 6, that would be 24, add 2 zeros. See, notice even on Mr. Short, it's kind of tough to line these up, so you definitely got to make sure your ones are lined up with your ones, your tens are lined up with your tens, and the hundreds, so on and so forth. And then finally, 4 times 2 is 8. 1, 2, 3 zeros, 8,000. Now, when I add those together, 2, 9, 6, 10, carry the 1, 10,692. So this, once again, this will work for single digits times any amount of digits, multi-digit numbers on the top, larger numbers, okay? And then in the weeks to come, either I or your homeroom teacher will teach you how to times double digits together, such as 24 times 16. But if you know this process, it's going to make that lesson so much easier for you. So make sure, if you want to give it, I'll give you a few to try at home on your own, and rewatch the video if you need to remember how to do this process. I'll leave the steps up here, though, for you to look at. Here's your first problem I want you to try. Let's go. 54 times 3. And if you think you get that one correct, move on to 692 times 5. And if you think you're really good and you got it, try 5,962 times 7. Using a little bit bigger digits there. Go ahead in your notebook, give those a go. And then I will try to solve these really quickly. I'll post them on the board, so you can pause the video now, do them in your notebook. I'm going to go through them really quickly, and then when you unpause the video, I should have them all, or I'll answer them all for you, so you can take a look at which ones you've done correctly, maybe what mistakes that you've made. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video now, try it in your notebook, and then unpause the video and watch me do them. Go ahead. Okay, if you're on pause, here we go. I'm going to move through them quick. 3 times 4, 3 times 50. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. Add a 0. 2, 6, 1. 162 for the first one. Draw the line down, break apart by place value. 5 times 2, 5 times 90, and 5 times 600. Not 6, but 600. It's in the hundreds place value. 5 and 2 make 10. 5 and 9 make 45, add a 0. 45, add a 0. Some of you might forget to add those zeros. That's a tough thing to remember, but you got to do it every time. 5 times 6 is 30, and I have to add 2 zeros. So 2 zeros, and then write 30 backwards. That's actually 3,000. Some of you might have accidentally wrote 300 and forgot to add that extra 0. Let's add 0. 5 and 1 makes 6. 4, 3. 3,460. And then final one, if you thought you were doing really well, I'm hoping I don't run out of space here, but 7 times 2, 7 times 60, 7 times 900, and 7 times 5,000. Okay? 7 times 2 is, I'm going to write them a little higher, 14. 7 times 6 is 42, add a 0. And then 7 times 9 is 63, add 2 zeros, because it's 900. And finally, 7 times 5 is 35, add 2 zeros. Oop, excuse me. I did that one wrong. Even Mr. Shorter's working a little too fast. It's 5,000, not 500. So it's 7 times 5 is 35, add 3 zeros. Good thing I caught myself. 4, 3, 7. I'm just adding. That's the final step. 11, carry the 1, and 4, 41,734. If you could do any of these three, you're on your way to being good at multiplying larger numbers. Keep that in mind for these next couple lessons when we get into double digits times double digit numbers. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you later.